When we refer to our intelligence, we tend to look at our IQ as a way to establish an indication of our learning capacity. This is, however, a very limited approach to defining ourselves and human development. At STIR Foundation, we experiment with human evolution and distinguish 5 of such quotients, not just one. An overarching identifier is maybe the most complex one. This is our level of awareness and interpretation of realities. At STIR, we call this the AQ, or the awareness quotient. This quotient does not only sum up and combine all other quotients in an ongoing learning path. It also integrates the evolution of our sense of ethics, the breakthroughs in our consciousness of the meaning of things that shape our behavior and sense of responsibility. The AQ may go through powerful turning points that shape the evolution of ourselves, our understanding of things, and how we deal with life in general. In psychological terms, this can be referred to our positive disintegration. This is when we let go of our egocentrism and open up to care and relationships. It also refers to the moments of letting go of old behavioral patterns while entering a new level of personal and social resonance. At personal level, these breakthrough experiences are contributions to the development of our own and also potentially of humankind as a whole. The AQ is fed by the others, the IQ, EQ, PQ, and SQ. However, the breakthroughs and turning points of the awareness illuminations are produced at the AQ level itself. Now, how about the other quotients? As mentioned before, the IQ is our intelligence quotient. This refers to our capacity to absorb, rationalize, and memorize knowledge. Memorizing knowledge is not the same as awareness. For instance, we all know that 2 + 2 = 4. This is rational and the unquestioned way we have been educated. More difficult is to understand or become aware that 2 + 2 can be much more than 4, or even less, depending on the circumstances. Think of 4 people working together on a project. Their output can be more than the sum of their input. The EQ is our emotional quotient. Our emotions are mostly chemical reactions to circumstances that produce sensations of pain, happiness, joy, trauma, jealousy, empathy, compassion, love, or sadness, to name a few. Our EQ interacts with our IQ when we try to understand our emotions, especially when they are not related to reality, but interact with us through memories or sensing the desires for experiences in anticipation. This EQ can disturb our rational. It is also possible that our IQ, together with our AQ, tries to organize our emotions in an attempt to find inner harmony or a sense of progression. Our EQ also interacts energetically with our environment through social interaction, conscious levels of observation, and the interpretation of feedback that comes from our surroundings. We can energize this interaction negatively or positively. At STIR, we focus on the positive and constructive charge of such interactions. PQ is the physical dimension of our existence. It refers to our physical presence and motor capabilities. It addresses everything we can see and touch. Our physical capabilities allow us to move around, jump, sit, stand up, be creative with our hands, and much more. Our physical dimension also interacts with our physical environment through food, water, warmth, breathing, sport, recreation, or entrepreneurial creativities. And finally, we have our SQ. This refers to our spiritual quotient, or the interpretation of our authentic and meaningful self, the potential I am revelation. It does not necessarily refer to any religious dogma or belief, but more to the way we ourselves develop the understanding of this miracle of life, of which we are a personalized manifestation. Also, the SQ has different dimensions in which we can stick to the more egocentric I am, or we break through into the more empathetic, collaborative we are, and even reach the integrated all is. Bringing all these quotients together makes us what we are, an entity under constant development. It is like a continuous turmoil of experiences in which we find islands of control, moments of chaos, breakthrough situations, and efforts to harmonize with ourselves and our surroundings. Gradually, we build up our expertise as a person, enjoying at first the role models in our surroundings that guide us until we feel confident to become our own. Collectively, as societies, this works at a much slower and evolutionary pace. At STIR, we felt the need to introduce Sustainocracy. In Sustainocracy, we are invited to deal with an interpretation of our existential values that we all need together as a species. It is a reflection about the collective, all-is interpretation and our own position in it. Sustainocracy gathers people and institutions in a sense of shared responsibilities for these existential values as human beings, developing the 5 quotients interactively together on a continuous learning path. For many, this is a way of looking at the next step for humankind, away from the egocentric, destructive, Anthropocenic phase that we can gradually leave behind.